Did Trump's new statement just crash XRP and the crypto market and the stock market, or is there something else happening under the bridge? Plus, Senate just passed a bipartisan bill for crypto. What does this mean for XRP? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Let's get into it. Please read the disclaimer. Now, I know that you already smashed the like button, but on the chance that you didn't, now's the time to do so. Let's try to get 1,000 likety likes on this video. Make that like really nice and blue. Right now, XRP is sitting at $1.11, down another about 1.4% on the day. You can see Bitcoin's down, Ethereum's down, everything is down here today. It's not just that, we also are seeing the Asian markets pull back significantly. You can see over 800 billion wiped out of Asian markets in just a few hours. The South Korean exchange down 8.2%. They had a circuit breaker there. Their two big stocks, Samsung and KS, they got kicked in the BB, right? And so, they're about 50% of that exchange. So it's pulling it down significantly. I just looked overnight trading, big stocks that went up yesterday are down 6-7%. So something is a little bit breaking under the bridge. It could be because of Bank of America's statement yesterday that we're going to see potentially 3 interest rates hikes this year. So the market is not liking that, or the general global markets are not liking that. And of course, that is putting pressure on XRP. Does it actually have anything to do with XRP and XRP technology? Well, kind of, but it has to do more what President Trump said, and that's bringing down crypto. Again, not per se XRP, but we'll get to that in just a second. A lot of you have been asking me, right? Recently, I have partnered with I Trust Capital, and a lot of people that have been in the comment section, they don't really understand. They're like, Avi, what is an IRA, right? So I thought to myself, okay, we're going to take a break for a second, and we're going to explain a little bit what is an IRA and how potentially I Trust Capital could be very, very good or very, very beneficial for you. Okay. So we're going to do that right now. So if you don't know, I'm going to put myself to the other side here. An IRA is one of the most powerful tools for growing wealth because they eliminate or delay the tax drag. Many people invest, right? And they don't think about taxes. Many newcomers come and they invest in the stock market, in crypto, and they don't think about taxes. And it's one of the most important thing that could eat away on your profits, right? The slow erosion of your investment returns caused by paying capital gains and income taxes every year. Outside of an IRA in a standard brokerage account or crypto wallet, the IRS treats cryptocurrency as a property. Every single time you sell one crypto asset for cash, trade it for another token, or earn staking rewards, it triggers a taxable event. You owe either short-term capital gains up to 37% or long-term capital tax gains up to 20%. Inside an IRA, those compounding speed bumps disappear. So basically, every single time you buy or sell inside an IRA, no tax, right? It continues to grow or continues to sit, whatever you decide to do, until you get to retirement. And a Roth IRA is even stronger. We'll explain right now. So you have a traditional versus Roth, the core difference. The main distinction comes down when you pay the tax man. A traditional IRA, you get a tax deduction today when you put your money in. Your investments grow tax deferred. So you're deferring the tax payment to when you start taking money out when you retire. You pay ordinary income tax later when you withdraw the money in retirement. It finished me. Right? Roth IRA, you invest using after-tax dollars. No deduction today. So the money that you're putting in is already deducted from tax. So if you had income, you pay taxes. Now you can use that money after taxes, put that in the Roth IRA, and it's clean of taxes, right? Grow completely tax-free, and your withdrawals in retirement are 100% tax-free. So here's a scenario, buying XRP in an IRA versus a Roth IRA. Let's look at a concrete example. Imagine you invest $5,000 to buy XRP today. A few years down the road, during a major market cycle, the value of XRP climbs to $50,000, right? Knock on wood, let's hope. And you decide to sell and lock in that $45,000 profit. Okay. So if you had not in an IRA, you are up to 20% or 30% tax according to the to capital gains. Again, this is in the US, and our partner iTrust Capital is only in the US. But if you're in a different country, this is potentially you have a similar mechanism, and then you have to figure out what the tax code is. In the UK, Australia, Canada, it's probably different. Okay. In a traditional IRA, no, zero tax is due at the time of the sale. But remember, there is tax when you retire. And in a Roth IRA, also no taxes. Reinvesting, your profit is chopped down by the tax bill before you can reinvest it. Remember, if you had $100,000, you sold that $100,000. Now you have to pay either 20% or 37%. Now, if you want to reinvest in something else, you have 80,000 or 67,000, no, 63,000, right? So your profit was completely chopped by the tax man. In the IRA, you keep the full 50,000 or 100,000 inside the account to trade. Same thing with the Roth IRA. And this is the kicker, right? The best part is when you withdraw, you have to start paying the tax on the ordinary income. So when you go to retirement, there's something called an RMD. You need to start taking that out. And on that withdrawal, you have to pay taxes. But in the Roth IRA, no taxes. Regular IRA, yes. Roth, no. Remember, because the Roth IRA was already taxed before you put the money in. Okay. So the traditional IRA benefit, of course, you have that zero capital gain tax and you can reinvest the money without having to pay the tax man. Only when you retire, you have to pay the taxes. And of course, the Roth IRA, the home run scenario is it continues to grow. And when you retire, you can take out all that money and owe the IRS absolutely nothing. The only thing with the Roth IRA is that it's capped at a certain amount every single year. So you can put in a huge amount into the Roth IRA. It's around $6,000 if I remember correctly. But still, that can accumulate year over year over year, and think of what could potentially happen. Now, if you do use my link and you sign up to iTrust Capital today, you will get that $100 funding bonus if you are interested. Link is in the description down below. You can buy your long-term XRP, leave it in there, or you can do any of your spot crypto trading there. And then, like I said, if you have big profits, you're not going to have to pay the tax man until you retire, and then you only pay when you take out those RMDs on that specific amount that you take out. So this is a very, very powerful tool. So I wanted to explain a little bit more what it is, because a lot of you were asking me in the comment section, and I felt that people didn't really understand the differences and why this is such a powerful tool. So hopefully now it's a little bit more clear. Again, iTrust Capital is a partner of ours, so I will get a commission if you sign up, but you are also getting that $100 funding bonus and, of course, all the benefits of having that IRA. Okay, so very, very important. Right now, we're seeing a bill, a big bill, that just passed in Congress. You can see latest U.S. Senate passes bipartisan bill blocking a CBDC through 2030. The Senate has officially passed the 21st Century Road to Housing Act in a 85-5 vote, including a temporary ban on the Fed issuing a U.S. CBDC through 2030. The bill is now passed to the House. Remember, I told you a while back that sometimes in the U.S., bills have like these things that are tucked in or hidden in, right? That have nothing to do with the housing bill. But this is what we're seeing. They put in the housing bill the CBDC ban. So that is officially passed the Senate, and now it's going to the House. So it seems no CBDC in the US, at least until 2030. And Europe is a different scenario. We'll see what will happen in Europe. The central bank head, she said that they were looking at October 2025. That didn't, it came in and went, and there was no CBDC announced. We'll see what happens with that in Europe. It's going to be very interesting. Also, crypto groups are pushing Congress to exempt mining and staking reward from tax. Crypto industry groups are urging Congress to pass a bill that would stop mining and staking rewards from being taxed as income. House Democrats are skeptical, warning it could give crypto special treatment over traditional investments. With midterms approaching, the bill path remains uncertain. So we just talked about the IRA and how it's important to put those in. Maybe we'll have a possibility where mining and staking rewards potentially would not be taxed. So that could be a plus in general for everybody. So this is going to be interesting to see. But again, every single country is going to be different. If you live in the UK or in Australia or somewhere in Europe or anywhere around the world, I'm just bringing the English speaking countries because that's most of our viewership here. But if you're in the Netherlands, you have to understand what the tax code is in the Netherlands and figure out what's good for you. So that's very, very important. Like many people don't even think about this, but it's so important to think about that, right? This is why I think that maybe the crypto market took a little bit of a spill here today. President Trump signed a pair of executive orders aimed at speeding up the development of advanced quantum computers. Details include Order 1 directs federal agency to work with private sector and academics to deploy quantum computer powerfully through the conduct of scientific research by 2028. Order 2 directs agency and government security experts to prepare for quantum systems that can evade standard encryption more quickly than previously anticipated. So this is the part that could hurt, right, the crypto market is the fact that these quantum computers might evade the standard encryption and then potentially hurt crypto. But he also wants the agencies to also find a solution for that. So that could be actually good for crypto. So there's like the good and the bad. Okay. And so that's why I think the market freaked out a little bit, sold off a little bit. But again, stock markets are selling off right now all across the world. And also, pre-market is not open yet. It's still early here, but after hour trading is down as well. Or sorry, the overnight trading that's available on some exchanges. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens right now. You can see we finally kind of it was funny. We broke out of the kind of zone that XRP was trading at for a few days. It broke out just to go to all the way to the other to the other side from last night where we went up above. Now we're about 4% down in the last 18 hours. Things can change, things can shift. It will be very interesting to see what happens. Benjamin is still telling us that he thinks that long term or medium term looks like Bitcoin is squeezing between the bear market resistance band and the 200 SMA. You can see that's the red and the white here on his picture. A decisive move down later this year, while initial scary, would likely set up the market cycle bottom for Bitcoin in the fourth quarter of 2026. So he's thinking that we're going to see this summer continue the sell off and then towards the end of the year come back up. It's kind of crazy to think that we're almost back in October. I know it's 4 months away, but well, 3 months, like so you have July, August, September, right? And then we're back in October. So 3 months away, back to October. Kind of crazy. It feels like it was just yesterday that I was there, in Singapore and then in Thailand, and then the market collapsed on October 10th. But it's gone really fast. And it's going to be interesting to see what the market is going to do here. Again, Benjamin doesn't know. Maybe Benjamin's right. Maybe Benjamin's wrong. He's been right recently about certain things. He's been wrong recently about certain things. BlackRock thinks that 14 trillion BlackRock says Bitcoin will likely see a renewal in upward price around the midterm elections. So they're also, thinking that this is something similar. When is the midterm elections exactly? Let's see, midterm election dates, right? So it's also around November. So this is basically what Benjamin is predicting here towards the fourth quarter. He says the more fear there is over the risk of money printing is ultimately the most important fundamental driver. Of course, they would want the crypto market to do good, because recently the ETFs, especially the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs for BlackRock, have not been doing great, seeing a lot of outflows. So of course, BlackRock is going to come out and say things like this, but it seems that that's where the market is playing out so far. Again, maybe we get a surprise. Maybe there's, Clarity Act passes and the market reacts in certain ways. Again, July 4th is not going to happen for the Clarity Act, but it will be very interesting to see what happens today, short-term, medium-term, long-term. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And again, if you understood now what an IRA is, and again, you're in the US, please check out I Trust Capital. Again, they are a sponsor of the channel, a partner of the channel, but It really is a very strong and powerful tool to any single person, not just someone that's, an investor, but any regular Joe as well. So if you know regular Joes, have them take a look at it as well. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.